I think I got fleas. All right. So I want to thank everybody for watching my YouTube channel, Armand's Opinion. I also want to thank you for hitting the subscribe button. I also want to thank you for watching at least 33 seconds of each ad.
I watched 35 just to be sure.
That's a good, you know what? That's as a rule, you should watch 35. Because that's how, listen, that's how we're getting paid here. You know what I'm saying? This is me just talking for 20 minutes, and none of this really means anything. But it means something if I'm getting money to do this. Makes it worth my time. I don't roll out of bed for anything under 32 seconds. So just remember that. So my wife came up with this idea. So if it's awful, blame her. 10 questions with Armin. So she's going to ask
Except
me.
for I don't call you Armin.
What do you call me? You call me baby?
I call you Armand.
Armand.
Yeah. Or I call you Honey.
Honey.
But I don't call you Armin.
You never call me Mondo, ever.
No.
You call me Armand.
Yeah, Armin. I don't
Armin.
I don't get it.
Growing up, it's Armin. I've done a video on this.
I know. I'm just saying I remember talking with your mom about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, and I said, what did I say? It's not Armando. It's Armando.
Armando.
I said, so it would be Armand.
Yeah.
In which she told me to shut up. But, there's that.
Whatever. All right. So anyway, so we got so rapid fire questions. We're going to do these all.
Rapid fire? Uh-oh.
No, we're not.
Oh, I'm not prepared. Okay.
Read all the questions, and then I'll just answer them all at the end.
Oh, okay. All right.
Go.
Are we ready? So I did a mixture, some writing, some personal. Keep it a little bit interesting.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to start with a personal question, and then we're going to, we'll pepper them back in with the writing questions. How about that?
All right.
Okay. So, foster dog in my chair. My first one is I'm going to ask you, what would be your dream vacation?
Ooh, my dream vacation. I'm not a person who loves to be around a billion people and all that. That's not really
three
people. Yeah. You give me like the two of us. You got a third person in there. I'm like, I'm out. So for me, a dream vacation is somewhere remote, somewhere quiet, somewhere near the water. I'm not a person who goes in the water.
No.
I just like being near the ocean or near the river or near the bay or
flowing water.
Flowing water.
To listen to the sounds.
Right.
Of this
That's my thing. We go to Apalachicola. We've been there a few times. It's one of those tiny houses right on the bay. I get up in the morning, get my cup of coffee, and I go sit out on the deck, and I'm watching fish jump. I'm watching people out there pulling lobster cages and whatnot. And that to me is the ideal vacation. Yeah. I know we had looked one time years ago. There was an island. Do you remember the island? We were trying to find like an Airbnb thing, and it was an island, and literally you have to get on a boat, and like twice a day is the only time. And there's people that live on the island,
but only like 3 houses. It's not like a lot of people that live on the island.
It's a small island, 3 houses, and basically you basically stay at one of the houses for the weekend. But you're at a certain time you have to be there to get onto the island at a certain time at the last day.
Little boat over.
They take you over. And I thought, wow, that is a great opening to every single horror movie.
I was gonna say, then my thing was, I don't want to get killed on vacation, so let's not sign up for that.
And that's right. I mean, that's basically I'm like, oh, this is great. This is the beginning of every Lovecraftian movie ever. But that would be cool to be just on that island with nobody else, just us. Whoa.
Excuse me.
I'm not getting rid of that.
Excuse me.
So
allergies, people, allergies.
Yeah, allergies.
Okay, so your dream vacation, I get it, is not a lot of people near water, but like, what's the location? Like, if you were like picking, is it somewhere just here in the U.S.? Is it on the beach, or would you prefer not the beach?
No, I would think to make it easy, it would be in the U.S. on a beach.
It's your dream vacation, and your thing is to make it easy.
Yeah,
it's your dream. It doesn't have to be easy.
There's no countries like I'm dying to go to this country or that country.
Okay.
There's none of that. I would love.
So for your dream vacation, I could just get us a place on some water here in like Jacksonville or St. Augustine Beach, and you'd be
literally 5 miles from here is the beach. You just put us there, and I'm good.
I'm gonna be honest with you. For a creative person, it's not a very creative dream vacation.
I would like to do an Alaskan cruise. I still want to do an Alaskan cruise.
Yeah,
I think that would be fun. I've been on a bunch of cruises. On our honeymoon, we went on a cruise. I like being on a cruise.
Yeah.
Because again, there's water. I think there's water around us usually. So
On a cruise,
yeah,
usually
there's water.
Usually there's some water somewhere. You can find some.
Yeah.
All right, so that's number one.
All right.
Number two, we're going to go to a writing question. Why are you a fiction writer, but why do you think you enjoy nonfiction books the most?
I think I enjoyed nonfiction the most. So as a kid, there were these cards, these card packets, full color card packet, and there was like maybe a dozen every month that came that my mother got for me about World War II, and each card would have a picture, and then the Battle of Stalingrad or whatever on the back, and they were interesting. As a kid, I was always a big fan of history. My dad served in Vietnam, so I always wanted to learn more about that. My parents really didn't talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I read a lot of books. I read a ton of World War II books and different things like that. So I've always been a fan of history and learning things. So for me as a writer now, to be able to read any kind of autobiographies, biographies, doesn't matter. For me to be able to read those and get something out of it for my writing. So a lot of times I'll read something that's interesting. Like I'll read a music, a guitarist, a singer, whatever. Even if I don't even like the band, I'm still gonna read it because I want to learn about them. And for me, reading those books, like I want to learn about the creative process. I want to learn about things. I'll read books about writing. I'll read, Lee Child, his biography, stuff like that. So for me, it helps me with my writing because I learn about people.
Okay. Number three, what would you say are your top 3 pet peeves?
Top 3 pet peeves.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because you get annoyed by a lot.
I have a lot, right?
Yeah. So
I have a lot. Like only 3. That's kind of tough.
This question comes from, I watched a clip about Hugh Grant, and he was like, "Oh, I'm just like a walking pet peeve." He's like, "I hate backpacks. I hate water bottles. I hate lawnmower sounds. I hate people in flip flops. I hate," and it made me chuckle, and I thought that would be a good for you because you have a lot of I hate this and I hate that type of thing. So.
I'm gonna tell you the one that I absolutely hate.
Yes,
it's like a 2-parter. I hate when men wear hats, hipster hats, because they think
anything other than a baseball hat.
If you're wearing a baseball hat, I got no problem with it. Listen, I'm 56 years old. I wear my baseball hat on backwards all the time. Is it a good look for me? Who knows? But I think it is. If you're wearing literally any other kind of hat for a guy, you're wearing a straw hat, you're wearing a top hat, you're wearing whatever you're wearing one of those Boston beanie things.
Do you run into people in top hats a lot?
Yeah,
for that to annoy you?
You have no idea. Every time I leave the house, I'm like, oh, went to Dunkin' again, and there's somebody in a top hat in line. That annoys me. I'm going to tell you what else also annoys me.
Well, that's the whole point of this question. So tell me what else also annoys you.
Women that wear hats.
Okay.
Now, I have no problem with a woman who's like, say, fit. She's jogging, she's at the gym, whatever, and she's wearing a baseball cap.
Mm-hmm.
When you start wearing those giant sun hats, and you start wearing fedoras and stuff like that, that annoys me. I am not a fan of that.
So you and hats, other than baseball hats, you hate hats.
Yeah, if you wear a baseball hat, I'm good. But if you wear any other kind of hat, I don't like it. I don't think you look good. And then
I don't know how you can just say that about everyone.
Literally, there's not a person in this world that wears a hat that I could say, "Oh, you look good in that hat."
I don't think that's true.
I think that's 100%.
All right, so your number 1 pet peeve:
people wearing hats.
People wearing hats. Okay. Number 2.
I mean, there's so many.
What's the thing you look at all the time and you're like, I really dislike this, or this really annoys me? I guess is more of a what annoys you, not that you dislike.
I would say another pet peeve. You don't even understand this one. We've gone over this. If I am wearing I'm a Boston Red Sox fan. If I'm wearing a Boston Red Sox jersey, I'm not wearing the hat.
I know, you're so afraid they're going to think you're on the team.
If you're on the team, you wear the official jersey and the official hat. Otherwise, one or the other. Okay, one or the other.
Okay.
So that's a pet peeve of mine. Whenever I see people wearing, and I don't care if it's like, say it's like some fun, it's like
I know,
a player or something.
He used to be annoyed. We would go to the Jumbo Shrimp, which is our local baseball team, and we had season tickets, and he would be annoyed because when we would go to the games, I would wear my Jumbo Shrimp shirt and a matching hat. I had like 15 different shirts and 15 different hats that went with those shirts. And he would get so annoyed because I would wear the hat and the shirt, because I don't know what he thought that meant. That I'm.
I don't want to be
only the player wears a shirt.
I don't
want
to be sitting in the stands and all of a sudden they're like, 7th inning, we need a pinch hitter. You're wearing the uniform. Get down there, and then I sit there by myself.
Yeah, because that's what's going to happen.
I don't want that.
Okay, so there's your number 2 pet peeve. People in hats, number 1. People in matching hats and shirts for a sporting event, or for a sporting team. Right. Anywhere. Okay, that's number 2.
I'm going to tell you the number 3. And this might
number
be
3.
This might be a deal breaker.
Uh-oh.
Okay, this is if I go out with you to dinner, not you, but anybody, and they do this, I will not be your friend anymore.
Uh-oh.
And you know exactly what it is.
I think I do.
If you order soup in a bread bowl or a taco salad and it's in anything in an edible bowl, and then you eat everything inside and you don't eat that edible bowl,
or at least part of it,
or at least some of it, at least give it I am so mad. I'm like, why did you buy that? If just buy soup. Then just buy a couple of tacos. And what do? Take all the meat out of the taco shell? What are we doing here, people? This is not a civilized society.
Yeah, it's funny because I always say that if I go out to lunch at work or with anybody and I see somebody with something in an edible bowl, and I'm like, oh Lord, I hope they eat that bowl. If our mom was here, I'd be so mad if they don't eat that bowl.
So mad.
So these are your top 3 pet peeves.
Those are the top 3.
Those are the 3 things that set you off.
Right. Don't do any of those things. Dude, listen to me. Do not wear a top hat with a team logo and a jersey, and then not eat your taco salad.
Then eat your edible bowl.
Your edible bowl. I will be so mad.
That's it. That'll
we
throw
are no
you
longer,
into a tailspin.
We are no longer friends. You want me to hate you for the rest of your life? That's what you do.
That's it. I'm going to be honest with you. That's a kind of a lot right there. It has some crazy things, but that's okay. They're your pet peeves.
They're my pet peeves.
All right. You've read a lot of books in your life. You read a lot every year. What would be your number 1 book that you've read that you say, I wish I had written this book? It was so good. I loved it so much.
I wish I had written this book.
Yeah, like you read it and you're like, this book is so good and so amazing. I wish I had written this book. This is like the book.
I'm going to tell you what the last book I read, that I read that book and I literally, I did not write the next day. Because that book was just so darn good. And that was A Violent Masterpiece.
What do I hear?
That's the dog. She's underneath the chair.
Oh, okay. Sorry, everyone.
Jordan Harper.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to meet at BoucherCon this year. He was awesome. And I got an advance copy of A Violent Masterpiece. And when I read that, I was like, I read it and I'm like, I'm not worthy. This is just so good.
Right.
Everything about this book is just so good. And so for me, that was one of those books, and all of his books are really, really good, but he gets better every single time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of authors like that I read and then I'm like, Don Winslow is another one, when the first time I ever read Elmore Leonard, I was like, this is insane how somebody can write this well.
So the last book that you read, the Jordan Harper book, is that a book that you were like, I wish I had written?
Yeah, I wish I could have executed a story, because if I had thought up that idea, it's not, again, no ideas are original. I mean, we everything's been written. It's just the way you execute it. And I don't think in a million years I could have sat down, and if you gave me those characters and you gave me the outline, you gave me that plot, I couldn't have written it nearly as well as him.
So we're going to have a bonus question here. I'm thinking of this as we're talking. Bonus question is, what book have you read that you wish you could read again for the first time?
Watership Down.
I knew you loved that book.
That book as a kid, reading that and not knowing, like, it's got rabbits on the cover, kind of thing. And then reading that and just be completely blown away. Like, how can a book about rabbits trying to survive and fighting other rabbits and whatnot. How can this be so good? How can this? And it was literally, there's certain things in my life that was life-changing things, and that would be reading. That would be one of them. Listening to Iron Maiden's Number of the Beast at 12 years old definitely changed the whole trajectory for music and everything for me too.
And then marrying me.
Oh yeah, that thing too.
There you go.
Yeah, there.
Okay, this is going to be a silly one, but every time it comes up, you have to make a comment. Why do you hate the game of life so much?
Oh, I hate that game. So
that and Monopoly, you're always like, oh, the game of.
So I grew up with a brother. He's like a year and a half younger than me, and I'm just gonna say he was a jerk. Okay, every game you played with him, he had to ruin it. He was a sore winner. He was a sore loser. My brother would be the guy who would bump the table and knock everything off in Monopoly. Up, we're done playing now.
Because he was losing.
Because he was losing. He would cheat playing cards. I don't even play cards to this day. If you said, "Hey, I don't want to play cards," because I hated it so much. But the game of life was two things. My brother was a jerk playing it, and the game I hated that game.
I know, but that's the question. Why?
I don't know. I just don't like that game. It's just not a good game.
I've only played it a couple times. My family, if we had like a game night when I was a kid, we would do Monopoly. My dad would get pretty upset. So about the time, I don't know, I was probably like 7 or 8. My mom, for whatever reason, she always ended up buying all the railroads. And I remember there was like a night where, for whatever reason, he kept landing on all the railroads and he kept having to pay her huge sums of money.
Right.
And then she would be like, you're playing a game, right? So they land on it. And she's like, okay, $2,000, and she's laughing and joking. And for whatever reason, he got so mad. And he was like, I'm not playing this stupid game. And you buy all the railroad. I did that. And he got all mad. And that was the last time my family ever played Monopoly. And but I learned to go, oh, not Monopoly. People get mad playing Monopoly. And Monopoly takes too long. So Monopoly for me was the game that I look back on and I go, oh, I don't really like to play Monopoly.
Yeah, it takes forever and it's not an enjoyable game. Now, Risk. Me and my buddy Frank Valenti, we would play that we would start like on a Friday night. We would play it like all weekend. I mean, that game was
Did you alternate that with the Dungeons and
was
Dragons
amazing.
Weekends?
No, Frank didn't play Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I meant for you though. One weekend.
Well,
Dungeons and Dragons,
hang out with Frank, and then we'd hang out play Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay. Back to writing. What is the biggest regret in your writing career so far? And hopefully you don't have any bigger. So hopefully you've already had it.
Yeah, hopefully I've hit that one already. I think writing so much in so many different things and not finding my brand sooner.
Mm-hmm.
I think writing horror and not realizing at some point, hey, this isn't making me any money. And then let me write some supernatural stuff, and let me write some nonfiction stuff, and let me write some crime thriller stuff, and let me write, and just bouncing from genre to genre and thinking, one of these is going to hit, and then my backlist is going to sell, and I'm going to be a billionaire. And realizing from the beginning, maybe I should have just stayed in one lane.
Okay.
I should have just written one thing and stayed there. And I always tell new writers, write whatever you want, because you don't know what your thing is yet. Don't do it for 20 years like I did. I think that's probably the advice. Don't do it for so long. What is that?
Your old debit card. The dog found it, was chewing on it. Well, that's it. Well, but now that you figured that out,
hopefully I figured it out. Yeah.
Then there you go. Hopefully that was your biggest regret, and you don't have any more of those.
Yep.
All right, now a non-writing question.
Mm-hmm.
Please share your feelings on tiny homes.
My feelings on tiny homes.
Yeah.
So
for people who aren't like me, who don't get to watch. If we watch a show that has people buying tiny homes in it, or Tiny House Living, I believe is the show.
Yeah.
And they don't get to see how violently you react to these shows. I would like for you to try to express your feelings on tiny homes.
Here's my thoughts on any of those shows. And I don't know why. You just get into that where like there's nothing on. I've seen Diners, Drive-Ins, I've seen every episode 40 times. I don't care about this vegan food that they're going to make. Let's find, there's the is a home buying thing, island life, whatever, tiny homes. And all of those, I'm going to tell you what, not just the tiny homes, on all of those, this is what pisses me off. Oh, we have our two kids, Cashton and Kennedy, for instance, just two random names. And they are 8 and 12. So we're going to base buying this house or having this tiny house built on the fact that our kids are 8 and 12 years old. And apparently to these parents, their kids are never going to age. And their daughter and their son are going to live in the loft across from the loft where mommy and daddy are also going to stay. So right away I say, well, that we're not going to have a third kid because everybody's looking at each other. And then this is going to be real nice and awkward when the kids hit puberty and you're lying next to your sister or your brother. So those annoy me. They're a tiny home for me is for a couple of people that don't mind being around each other, but you can't put a family. You can't put 4, 5 people in one of those things. Plus, I mean, you got. It's like going to bathroom on a tour bus. You don't do a number 2 on a tour bus. That's a rule. So you're going to do a number 2 in your tiny house. That whole place is going to stink for days.
My pet peeve with a tiny house.
What?
Is everybody always has this grand idea they're going to live in a tiny house to save money, but it's all based on the kindness of somebody else giving them free land to live on. And
every episode is like,
we don't want to have to work so hard.
Yeah.
And, we want to be able to enjoy our family. So we have a family that has a working farm and they work really hard all the time, but they're going to give us a free place to stay
so that we don't
have to work.
We get to park and we don't have to pay lot fees or anything else. Yeah. That's annoying.
Yeah, it's just so funny for those of you who will never see this to put that show on. Not that I'll be honest with you, I could never live in a tiny home because I have too much crap.
Yeah,
and even trying to get rid of all of it, I don't want to live that close to anyone all the time. And I could live in something smaller than what we have. Not that our house is huge, but I definitely don't want to live in basically a camper. For the rest of my life. I'm not a fan, but anyway, watching you watch that and get so worked up is quite humorous.
I get worked up over a lot.
You definitely hit the old man stage of your life where you have a very strong opinions about things that have nothing to do with
I am very, very much watching that. Very much my father.
Yeah, I can see that. All right. If you were going to make a movie, if they were going to make a movie about your life, who would play me?
Wow. Who would play you?
That's right.
Who would play you? I would. This is who I would hope. I would hope Britney Spears would play you.
Because I'm crazy?
No, because you're blonde. She's blonde.
That's it? That's all you can come up with?
That's all I got.
All right. So that's the biggest characteristic you can think of somebody to play me is they just need to be blonde.
When I was,
Let me be honest with you, this isn't natural. So anybody could do this. As you can tell by all this.
Then,
it's not blonde.
Then Alyssa Milano. Dye her hair blonde.
She's crazy.
She is crazy.
See, you thought I was going to ask about you, but see, you've been asked that question before. So I was
have.
About
and what my answer was in the 90s? Peter DeLuise. I would like Peter DeLuise to play. I don't even know if he's still around.
I'm sure he probably is somewhere. All right. And then this is going to be question number, technically 11, because we had a bonus question thrown in there, but we're going to say question number 10. And what, in all the books that you've read, what makes a book great for you? What is it that sets a book apart and makes it great?
That I've read?
Yeah.
Characters.
All characters.
All characters. Again, I've said this. If you have a great main character and a good plot, that might be a great book. If you have a good main character and a great plot, that's still only going to be a good book. I need to, as a reader, I need to take ownership of that character, of that book. So I don't want, the Terminator. I don't want somebody without flaws. That's boring for me as a reader and as a writer. So I want characters that show emotion. I want characters that I can look and go, oh, it might not be me, but there's got to be something in that character that reminds me of that makes me go, what would I do in this situation? You know what I mean? And I think, and that is taking ownership of that. And I think for me, that's important. So when I wrote Dirty Deeds, when I was writing Dirty Deeds originally, and I said to you, because I had read a lot of that stuff, but not read it. I had read crime thrillers, but not enough to understand how it works. And I was still writing from the mindset of horror, writing a horror book.
Mhm.
And you said Stephanie Plum character, and I still remember this. And you said, Jen Ivanovic, you said, you don't know, you've read 20 of the books, and you don't know plot to plot, but you can tell which guy she's dating, which guy she's interested in, who she's working with. You remembered all the characters.
I read I think I read the first 19 books in that, and I'm way behind on all of that. But I haven't read any of those books probably in 10 years, any of her Stephanie Plum, and I could still to this day give you the names of all the characters. Right. And I do that with most series. And that's true. But I know a lot of people, story matters. And right. When I'm reading the story, it has to make sense and all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's if you're reading it, and yeah. it's I'm interested in what they're going through at the moment, but it's really the character development behind it and what's going on.
Right.
That's interesting, and that I'm going to remember those characters forever. Hold on, the dog's found something to eat. You can go ahead, finish talking about it.
Like for me, great author Dawn Lee McKenna. Before she passed away, I got to meet her. I went to a book signing, and I got to meet her in Apalachicola, where we would go and stay at the tiny house. And I said to her, her character's so great. I said, I could literally read a 200-page book from you, where you take two of your main good guy and your main bad guy kind of thing, and you sat them in the bay in Apalachicola on a shrimp boat, and they have an interaction and a conversation for 200 pages, and that would be a phenomenal book, because the characters are so well defined, so well written, but she still has them doing things that are unexpected, but still within the character.
So much personality.
Yeah.
The characters just have so much personality, and I don't mean that over the top, but just a good, well-developed character and personality. They say the right things. They're humorous. They're not, or the bad guy is just bad enough, creepy enough, but without being this over-the-top ridiculousness.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just curious, what is it that makes a book great? So characters. I agree with that. I know that the animals are staring each other down.
So thanks for the questions.
Absolutely.
If you get another set of questions, then I'll be sure to answer those.
We're going to do a newlywed type game. You're going to come up with 10 questions and your answers. And then you're going to ask me to see if I can guess the same answers that you have, to see how well I know you, or vice versa. We might do it where I get to quiz you to see how well you know me.
That'd be good.
I'll be honest, I'm afraid you're not going to do very well, but we'll see.
I won't do well at all on that one. And you'll probably get 8 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Somehow I would get 11 out of 10. I know you so well.
All right. So thanks for watching this. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you watch 33 seconds or more of each ad, because that's how I get paid. That's how she gets paid. And if you have any questions for me, could be about writing, could be about, I probably got about 400 more things that I scream and yell about. We could have gone off on just TV shows that I yell at the screen. We could have done
maybe next time.
So thanks for watching. Thanks for hitting the subscribe button, and I appreciate you hanging out with us.
Bye.